We are actually an incumbent supplier of battery-grade manganese. We are the world's largest producer of high-purity manganese metal and the only non-Chinese producer. We do some 28,000 tons of high-purity electromanganese, selenium-free, which is what is unique about our process. We've done that since 1974. Currently, about 20% to 30% of our sales goes into the battery space. That makes us the largest supplier of manganese for the NCM, the nickel, cobalt, manganese, PCAM production outside of China. We have commenced construction of a 6,000-ton high-purity manganese monohydrate brownfield plant, and production will start very early in 2026. We truly understand the impact of all variability on the hydrometallurgical processes. We are a premium supplier in a world where our 2% gets matched by China's 98%. Our current process of dissolving our pure metal to make manganese sulphate sounds irrational, illogical, and yet it has got the lowest incentive price of any of the new non-Chinese high-purity manganese sulphate monohydrate suppliers or future suppliers. We make money at $2,500 per ton. You'll read the feasibility studies calling for $3,500, $4,500 and $5,000 a ton. Purity requirements for battery-grade manganese, it's much higher than what you think. The devil is in the decimals. Nobody speaks bigger nonsense than the wannabes of the manganese space. You either make the specs, extremely tight specs, or you make a product that you have to dump into the animal feed market. There's no middle ground. Our metal dissolves comfortably into, obviously, what other people would fantasize to achieve, 99.9% pure manganese metal, except it doesn't make battery grade. So if you talk about 31.5% manganese and you call it battery grade, you just do not understand what battery grade means. If you don't look at the subcomponents, and these are the OEM specs, and obviously the OEMs are extremely conservative, demanding. Sometimes they don't quite know why they spec it, but these are the specs that we have to achieve if we want to play in the space. The technical expertise hurdle is high. I can arrogantly say that there's some emerging skills being developed on projects in Mintek and in Geopolitical and all over the world. But current proven technical expertise outside of China, you'll have to come and visit us in Nelspruit to see. It is truly a China-dominated space. If we talk about the understanding of the manganese chemistry for the flow sheet development, each ore body will have to have its own recipe. I don't think it's fully appreciated that what we do for the Northern Cape ore body is a fantastic solution for South Africa, but it doesn't apply just like that to Gabon or Gihani or Euromanganese's ore body. The amazing bottleneck that exists is the ability to detect and control the impurities. The analytical method development, I mean, there's just no third-party labs that can currently do that. Because what we are doing here is we are making, I mean, this is like making pharmaceuticals on an industrial scale. Good luck. There's truly a lack of expertise and industrial know-how outside of China, understandably because China produces 98% of global electromanganese and 95% of global MSM. We should not think that because South Africa have a lot of manganese ore, we will automatically benefit. As a country, we need to be very wise in our capital allocation decisions. It's a very simple process. After 50 years, we know how to do it. We take somebody's waste, we chuck it around a bit, add a few chemicals, tons of electricity is madness. As you heard, electricity prices went up by 700%. And then we make the world's purest electromanganese, which fortunately we get a premium for, otherwise we would not exist. We are already the world's largest producer of manganese ore. MMC is already a refiner of high purity manganese metal, and now we are also following our product into the battery space. Manganese containing batteries, cell chemistry continues to be favored. Adding manganese brings down the cost and improves the capacity of batteries almost consistently. But South Africa needs to protect and grow local beneficiation and refining capacity in order to grow the battery market participation. As a small player in a big world, geopolitics is critically important. We must choose who we deal with as a country because it will feed directly into our ability to compete. We fantasize about doing what other countries have done. Should we do what Indonesia have done? Indonesia legislated and forced themselves into being a significant player in nickel. Zimbabwe tried that in lithium. A few points. South Africa is not dominant enough in manganese ore supply to have a net benefit. If we force manganese exporters not to export, it's not automatically going to convert into manganese beneficiation. The extensive control of downstream industries, we must just think it through. Do we really want to be a factory for China? What played out in Indonesia was obviously it got Chinese owned and it completely destroyed the market through oversupply. If we try and think what is the ecosystem that is needed to grow South Africa's downstream manganese industry, we do need power supply. We cannot have an Eskom that gets 40% increases or even apply for that. We cannot stay in business in these types of businesses unless we've got secure and green and affordable electricity. We do need the institutional development support. This business was funded 50 years ago by the IDC. The next phase of taking on China and the world from a small privately owned business in Nelspruit will never happen unless we get the IDC support. We cannot pretend to do this without institutional support. High purity manganese is a phenomenal battery material and it is damn difficult to make. Capital is needed to grow the refining expertise. As a country, we need to get serious about refining. We do mine a lot. We don't need to mine more. Of course, I'm not anti-mining, but that's not where our bottleneck is. We must not misallocate our scarce resources onto pet projects, well-promoted projects. We should really, as a country, be smart, box smart with our limited resources. And South Africa can benefit a lot more. We do have a natural endowment of vast manganese reserves, combined with local technical expertise to refine the ore up to the required purity levels. With appropriate government support and private sector collaboration, this manganese country can, after all, achieve what we all dream to achieve.